This is a horror and coffee on a Netflix series that I just finished watching called The Haunting of Hill House. Well, it took me a couple of weeks to get through it, and when I got through it, I got through it. I have to say, um, I've seen, as many of you who follow me kind of know already, I'm really into horror movies, especially supernatural elements of horror and stuff. And this one is definitely no exception. However, I will tell you this: this series affected me in a different kind of way. Let me explain. The series, it's on Netflix. It's about a family who rents or moves into this house for a particular summer. The whole idea is that it's haunted and strange events occur during the course of their time there when their kids and mother and father are also going through their issues with each other and with the events of that night. The whole series there's like 10 episodes. It seems to be an incomplete tapestry of events, both past events and present events that kind of like intertwine. There's a lot of time jumping. And I had to get used to it in the first couple of episodes or so because you really have to pay attention to watch this series so that you can know not so much where you are but when you are. That's very important in a series like this because gone are the days when things blur and you're going to a flashback. It doesn't work like that anymore. They just go right to it, and you have to just be on board and know what's happening. There were so many elements, and it had its jump scares, but it wasn't just jump scares. It was like the whole things in the corner thing, things that you have to watch and see from different angles and different perspectives where you're like, oh my God, what's that? Oh my God, what's that? Oh my God, what's that? And that just helped add to the fear and the excitement of the series. And it helped push the plot along to what was actually happening to this family. The children that we see in this series, we also see them as adults. And they go through their real life adult situations where they have to face their pasts and in their present situation, going through their own particular issues. And when you see all of this kind of like transpire and work itself out through all those 10 episodes, you really grow an attachment to the characters. Like I was really feeling very, very, very connected and empathetic towards many of them. About what they're going through, the pains and losses they've endured. Many of the supernatural releases, movies and Netflix and television were based around supernatural, yeah, but it was always based on demonic possession or the devil or some like The Conjuring, great series, great movie. Annabelle, The Nun. You think about those and oh yeah, it's demonic and stuff. And when you think of the Amityville Horror or you think of it's demonic, this series isn't about that. This is an old-fashioned, gritty, down-to-earth ghost story. It's about ghosts. The plot was amazing. The characters were so multi-dimensional. It was like I was watching a diamond just glitter throughout all the 10 episodes, and I thought it was just a wonderful thing to behold while I was getting the crap scared out of me, basically, at the same time. This series addresses not just the whole thing about hauntings and ghosts, but it questions the purposes of both life and death. And our characters deal with it in their own ways, in their own, kind of thing. I don't want to like get into spoilers or anything like that. I want you guys to watch this series for yourself. Binge watch it or watch it two at a time, whatever way you feel comfortable doing it. It's an amazing series, and I so recommend it. It gives this aura of meaning. There's a existential sense that one walks away from when they watch this, and it's tear jerking. There are moments when you want to cry. There are moments when you want to scream. There are moments when you want to just kind of jump in there and help them. I felt like I wanted to like be part of the solution to the problem. But then when you see it all kind of work out, uh, you say to yourself, this was amazing writing. The writing for this series, for this particular series, was beyond anything I've ever seen in a very long time, and I don't know how anything of that kind of nature will be able to top this for years to come. I must tell you though, when you get to episode 6, I'm not spoiling anything, but when you get to episode 6, check out the camera work in episode 6. Because when you get to episode 6, that's the one thing I started noticing after a while I was into the episode. I was like, you know what? Whoever decided to do it this way did it so good. Like the way the cameras were used in that particular episode to kind of flesh out the story, and the circumstance of that episode made it so much more enjoyable to watch and so much more intriguing and scary still. Oh yeah, it helped bring in the horror element. The horror element is there. I'm not trying to turn this into Brady Bunch. This was not Brady Bunch stuff. This was real horror. But at the same time, it was a challenge to face the horror, face it for what it is, so that one can move on to something more beautiful and precious. I'm going to give The Haunting of Hill House 4 coffee cups. The brew was great. And it tasted amazing. I love coffee. I'm so happy that this is on Netflix. But if it ever comes out on Blu-ray or something like that, or 4K, I am buying it. It's a keeper. It really is. There's so many callbacks to other famous horror films that you see in this series. There's a little bit, you see callbacks to Poltergeist. You see callbacks to the Amityville Horror. You see callbacks to even The Shining. Kubrick's The Shining, not that TV series. I saw things in there that reminded me of Hereditary, which I saw earlier this year, and I still arguably believe to be the most scariest movie of 2018. So, you got a little bit of stuff there. But what I liked the most about it is that I was able to step out of my usual demon thing and step into just an old-fashioned ghost story about ghosts. And that whole idea, even though, that's not something I believe in like that, it was cool to enjoy that storyline and take it in and absorb it. I thought it was awesome. So what do you think of The Haunting of Hill House on Netflix? Talk to me. Comment below and share with me what you think about The Haunting of Hill House. This is Ralph Perez from Strange Planet. Take care.